Hi, I'm Fred Gerber, and I'm presently Director of Education Emeritus. I retired, but I'm still active at the garden. I started back there way back in fall of 1970. It's been 50 years that I've been there, and it was always like going to a new job. It was always something new. When you walked into the gate in the morning, you never really knew exactly what the day was going to be. Anything from working with senior citizens to handicapped children to nursery school to answering plant questions. So the interesting part of the job changing and growing very much like a plant is what kept me around all these years. And this is the greatest thing about the job, that I enjoy working with a variety of people in a variety of ways. One of the things that I always like about children and other people in the garden is you're learning things, but we've never lost track of that sense of fun, the sense of the fun of discovery, coming in, seeing a worm. Will it hurt me? Oh no, it won't hurt you. Here, I'll pick it up and I'll show it to you. And their eyes are wide like they're seeing a white tiger. So it's this sense of wonder and being able to be, in a way, a child myself and share that enthusiasm with them, involving the children in different ways physically. We do a lot with bees because bees are so important in the garden. And I started doing the bee dance. And I'll get a whole group of children up there shaking and doing the turns that the bees really do in communicating with each other. So it's sharing it, but having fun doing it. And you never know where you're going to go. We had a program where I was working at New York Hospital in Queens. We had to alter what we do because you can't bring soil into the hospital. I did some programs on plants and animals together, and I would use my puppets. And I would see the look in their eyes. You have a little child who's confined to bed and maybe dealing with some serious things, and seeing the squirrel puppet being able to reach out and pet it, and the look in their face. So you're constantly being rewarded in that way. I now work with these older boys and girls going up and through their teens up to 21 in a program for multiply challenged students. And when they work with me and they consider me part of their team and they start thinking of the garden as their place, it's very rewarding. And some of them have gone on in jobs. Some of them have even worked at the botanical garden. This is the kind of thing that's constantly giving back to me, working with these people of many ages, that makes me happy. As far as plants that I like at the garden, the front of the garden, there's a little tree. It's a weeping scholar tree. It's not the prettiest tree in the garden or the most impressive, but it gets its name because in Asia, they believe this tree brought good luck to people who were learning, and they plant it around schools and libraries. And I have the children on tour reach out and touch it. And I say, well, it's like a four-leaf clover. When we say it brings you luck, we know that's just a nice story. But maybe this will bring you luck with school. But way back, before we made it our mission to see how plants, people, and cultures meet, we were doing this. And we saw this common ground. And I think back and I think, how many hundreds, maybe even thousands of children have touched that tree? Let's hope they've been turned on to the importance of nature. You never know what happens. There are ripples still going out, and it's nice to be part of the garden making those ripples. And once in a while, they come back to you. And that's really what's made the 50 years worthwhile. It's been great seeing growth and change and still being a part of it. I'm really glad to be there. I hope also that all of you will just be aware of the plants and nature around you at a time when so many things are being endangered, when so many things are being damaged. I hope we don't lose some of these wonderful things that are part of our world. And you can help in many little ways by joining places like the garden, by planting in your yard plants that are beneficial for good insects like bees and butterflies, and get out there and see some of these things out in the wild. It's important for people to realize that we're just a small part of this whole world, but we do have to take care of it. And I'll be seeing you around the botanical